is, what the business is.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Coming to you live from the shop.
You know what's funny is the last episode we just kept this bag sitting on the table, didn't say not a word about
didn't
it.
Say not a nothing.
But really need to know the importance of this thing, man, because I'm telling you, at one point in time, this bag was getting close to idolatry to me.
Yeah, bro.
You ever had this bag in the shoe before?
Hey, how many people's paid 2 for 1 on those?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
how many
let me
you
make
gonna
mine,
do?
yeah, because
I ain't gonna pour you up.
Hey, yeah, we had that joint sitting in there the whole time, didn't even address it, you know.
We was just talking about how when you go and ask somebody for a shot, you're gonna have to. I mean, are you type of dude that just goes ask for the shot, or are you gonna bring the hot water to them,
bring the water
to their cell,
Bam.
And say, bro, can I get a shot? At that point in time, like if you deny me a shot,
like we ain't even friends.
There's gonna be some serious.
Like what's really going on?
There's gonna be some serious problems. Internally, should I just sit on the ground?
Yeah, that's cool. Anyways, while we making something, I know you hear that. I know you hear that music coming from that music video that just dropped.
Stuck.
The whole time you was with me, now they even know I was love, yeah. See, I had to dig it up out the mud. It was buried down so deep, but I couldn't even see where it was. No. Trapped in it, I was stuck. But the whole time you was with me, now they even know I was love, yeah. I'm searching, look, I can't find it. Paranoid, I was off in the mirror. I'm trying to see who behind me. Dots cloudy, vision blurry. You could see that I was hurting. In the field, I was certain. Late night, I was lurking. Only fears they'd murk me.
Hey, Truth Music.
Yes, sir.
Coming to you live.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying, on the podcast.
East Side, Kansas City.
You know what I'm saying, on the east side, 29th and Van Brunt.
Suburb.
All my Kansas City cast. What's up? Holla.
Suburban.
Holla if you with me, you know.
That's too hot.
Bro, that's some yak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is hot.
Yeah, I know that's
Scald
too
your
hot.
tongue. But, hey, we just wanted to tap in with you, man.
Salute.
You know, really just, you know, coming to you live from Reach KC. I know you on the channel right now, so we just wanted to drop in with you today, share a little bit of word, just share the heart really behind who we are, what we got going on, you know, and just have you guys tap in with us. Hey, tell them what just dropped, man.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 or 5 days ago.
If you haven't checked, you probably have. If you're messing with Reach KC channel, you probably watched the video. But we did just finally get y'all a video after 10 months of silence.
Silence.
So we was in a season of 10 months of silence. So one thing we know is that God's timing on all of this, and so He blessed us with a videographer. He blessed us with the opportunity, blessed us with the resources to be able to give that out, because none of that stuff is free. None of that stuff is free of time, energy. But it is a blessing to be able to deliver it. It's one of my favorite songs. Didn't know we was really gonna do it to that song.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Like when I wrote that song, I didn't think, this is a video worthy song.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of good feedback.
Yeah, really.
I mean, my bro hit me up instantly.
Yeah.
Day of.
Yeah, where's he at?
WRDCZ, man.
Oh, okay.
Diagnostic. But he roughing it out diagnostic. But he hit me up day of instantly and was like, hey, that might be the one. I've actually told people told me that might be the best one yet, which is surprising. But same kind of vibe, grungy vibe.
It is. Yeah.
It's funny to watch my mom watch that kind of video, because she'd be like,
She's
"Oh,
over
my God, can't believe you just
like,
you
I thought you
went
was
down.
different."
Yeah, I can't believe you went down such a dark road, you know." And
Hey, when we was doing it, I was almost gonna do like black rag.
Right,
You know, do a black rag over the face. Mama would have really.
Yeah, if you pulled the bandana out, that bad boy might have got a little wild, but.
She might have been
praying
for you, putting some essential oils on
straight
you.
Straight up peppermint to the face, you know. But you know what is dope about it is that, you know, you can paint that picture. And that when I wrote that song, my portion of that song, I wrote it from a place I had to put myself back in that environment. I put myself back there, because you're gonna run a fine line with, like, you're glorifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The message is about Jesus, and at the end of it, it's talking about the heart posture, right? And my heart was buried down so deep that I had strayed away from God so hard that I was numb to the Spirit, 100% fully numb. I didn't understand what that meant then as I do now, but things that I did then, they didn't convict my heart at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a scary place to be at, thinking about you could hurt someone, you could endanger lives, you could see death, you could experience these things and feel no conviction, dude. Like, at that place, that is where I'm at when I'm talking about stuck.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, Father, what do you say? Father, you pulled me up out of that mud.
Yeah.
Pull me up out of that mud, because that's the type of wreckage that I was in. So I had to get back in that mode when I wrote it, because I had to paint the picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, I could paint a picture for you, and I can try to illustrate it,
Yeah.
and I can show you where I hustled at, and you can see that it was dangerous. But it was amazing. Let me give glory to God on this. What's amazing is where I hustled at is still right there on that street.
Right.
That
Right here.
street.
Right here.
No, that street right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
right
walking down this road right here.
Here. Yeah.
We used to catch a play right here, and we walk right down here to this gas station, and boom, that's where I serve it. And when I got out, God put me back on this exact same block.
Same block.
I mean, not a couple blocks over. Not like, man, if you went to the gas station, you would see where I used to trap at. No,
It
the
was
same
right
one.
here. Yeah.
Where the same grungy kid with nothing and an 8-ball in his pocket would go down there to maybe probably serve him, most likely rob him, but go back and in there
Right.
and put me in this spot. So it's just it had to get down there into that place. I will preview the next one that we got though, because the next one gonna be a little more softer and more beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
You
It
know
is.
what I mean?
But to touch on that one, it kind of reminds me of like the subliminal message behind it a little bit, because it's hot, bro. Is how it kind of it plays on the verse of like pulling me out of the clay and putting my feet on the rock. It's
Yeah.
what it always kind of reminded me of, and it's like, okay, yeah, it is saying like all of this other stuff, but like like we were stuck in the mud, dude. Like we were stuck in, but Christ took our feet out and he set our feet upon a rock, and he pulled us up out of that mud, and now it is completely different. And even though, it is it is a little more grungy. It's a little more, trappish, but it's still, it's still a good one to give them something to feed on, and just be able to like, hey man, you can put that demo on the big boy headphones, and I know it got some slap.
It does. It does. That saxophone in it is hard.
Yeah, it really
But
is, bro.
That's our heart in it, is the fact that, hopefully it catches the eye and the ear, but then the eye and the ear is tilted towards Christ.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing of this whole thing, because I mean, even us, we get, as truth music as a whole, we receive a lot of good responses from the music when we
Yeah.
do concerts.
Yeah.
But even institutions and stuff, man, they're like, yeah, I'm not so sure about the hip hop.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, we've had level 5s tell us no.
Yeah,
Like, we
because
was
they're like,
approved till like 3 days before, and then the
Right.
warden's like, "Yeah, we thought
you
this
were
was
doing
going to be
worship."
a worship."
Right.
yeah.
and it's like, what is worship though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, worship is so much
It's
more.
a posture, though. I mean, it's really a heart posture,
And it's so much more than just in church with your hands up. And are you worship? I mean, you worship with your body, you worship in spirit, worship in truth. Your life is
Yeah.
worship, right? But this is just another, example of it. I remember I used to make secular music, and so I was 18. I dropped a mixtape.
I heard some of that junk.
Oh man, it's trash.
Bro, it's so bad.
I think the gift was there.
Yeah,
the gift
like
was there.
You had some rhythm, but
Yeah.
bro, like the bars
Man.
were like
What I was talking
the
about,
shady lady.
right, bro?
You
I'm
know?
telling you, nothing to. But I'll tell you, what happened is when I first got saved, bro, I couldn't even listen to hip hop again.
Yeah.
I didn't
I was
listen
the
to it.
same way. To be honest, I really still don't a lot. I listen to a lot of worship.
I like to see what's out there. I respect a lot of the guys that are doing the same thing that we do because I know the hustle. I mean, the not the hustle of it, but the hurt of it, the ministry portion of it.
Yeah.
You got to be all the way anointed and all in for it, or else you just get attacked and get up out of there.
Yeah.
That's really what happens.
Yeah,
Um,
and I mean to be a buck, like most people don't understand that is what you get with a lot of folks is they want the platform without the responsibility. You know, and I see it all too often, honestly, especially in the street. You know, a lot of people don't want to. Matter of fact, we've talked about this. Is we've tried very hard to let people know who we're a part of, what we're a part of, like what church we're a part of. And there's a lot of folks that like they're just. I couldn't tell you what organization they sit up underneath of. I couldn't tell you what church they sit up.
Yeah.
I would respect that they would.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you know,
Right. But don't really be repping it like that.
Yeah, but it's really ministry
it's-
over money.
That's because we really like church people though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Church is it though. I mean, this is-
That's it. Like I think we you know, like if you put it in order of who we are, you know, we are men of God that honor our families first. You know, servants of God, honor our family first, and then you're a pastor. We're involved in leadership. I'm involved in leadership in the church.
Yeah.
So it's like God, family, church,
Yeah.
and then troop music.
Yeah.
Troop music gets what's left over after all that.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if maybe that's why the lines get hazy or whatever. I don't know, but we church because our heart, my heart, especially ours, is about the spiritual growth of who we are ministering to.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like I want you to be excited with the music. I absolutely do. I want you to be encouraged by it. But I don't want you to just be motivated.
Yeah.
Because the motivation will lose out.
Yeah.
What will trump everything is discipline.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to be delivered to be discipled. I want you to be disciplined in your walk, and so that you have spiritual growth. Paul put it like this. One of the verses we pray over in class, and 201. I like to pray this exact prayer over them, because when he says this, Paul says this in Ephesians, and it's in chapter 3, and it's verse 14. He says, "When I think of all this, I fall to my knees." I fall to my knees. So Paul, here he is. He's talking about God's mysterious plan. Some little context before this. He's talking about God's mysterious plan, and he's talking about the people, and in the church. And when he says, when I think of all this, I fall to my knees. So he is sickened with grief and anguish over his people, because here he is ministering the word, and he has got it. God's revealed some amazing things to him. He says how God's revealed things to him, but he's grasped it, right? He understands the power of God and relationship with Jesus. And so he said, I fall to my knees and pray to the Father, the creator of everything in heaven and earth. I pray that from his glorious and unlimited resources, he will empower you with inner strength through his spirit. Now I'm just going to stop there, because it says this. It says, he says, glorious and unlimited resources. Bro, what is a great resource? People. Technology.
Yeah.
Here we are using God's resources. Like, he provided this.
Yeah.
This whole setup, it looks nice, and you make sure it looks nice.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. You know, you ain't going to put nothing out that don't look nice. But the provision, it came from God. Right?
Yeah.
So what did you say about God's will and Bill? Who said what?
Louis said that. He said if it's God's will, then it's God's bill.
Straight up. If
You
he going
know.
to provide the vision, he going to provide the provision.
You know, and it makes me think, honestly, is so many times, bro, I'm guilty. So many times we can chase an opportunity instead of just being submissive and allowing God to bring it.
Right.
You know, and I've seen too many times my own self kicking open a door that God said wait to open.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you walk through that door and it's like boop bop beep, you know, and it's like, oh man, what's going on? It's like, I said wait, you know, and you know, I think like so often, even in the music realm, you know, we get into this mode where like we are chasing, you know, some of this stuff. Because like, I mean, to be honest, bro, there's people that are in church. We get letters from people that are talking like they want on a track. They want this, you know, they want that. And, you know, for us, it's like, bro, it's character over talent. You know, like, bro, I don't care if you're the hardest bar dude out there. Like, I don't, like, scratch all that. You know, like, where's your heart at? You know, where's your heart and what's your heart doing?
Could you say this? Could you say that if you brought somebody in that's heart wasn't conditioned correctly or in the right place and their motives was wrong, what would that say about the anointing of the group?
I mean, I think a little bit of leaven
Yeah.
spoils the whole lump.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, like,
Wow, that's good.
it is good now that it's cooled down a little bit.
But you have to get it in that moment, though.
Yeah, you do. 'Cause
Like,
if
you
it
have a
gets
short window of
if it gets
keefy,
too
bro.
cold,
Y'all
then
know
it's
what I'm
just-
talking about with that keefy window, baby.
Yeah, if it gets
That
too
thing-
cold, then it's just.
Yeah, y'all pow powy. Yeah, so I'm in that window now.
it's
You're
in
gonna
that
see me
window, so
with
just-
this. You're gonna see me get this cup down in the next 90 seconds.
You know, one of the things that I wanted to rap about a little bit today is really the heart behind Truth Music and kind of where a lot of this was birthed. And you know, honestly, it takes me all the way back to prison.
Yeah.
Because I remember whenever I was incarcerated in 2011, I did a year, and it was on the end of my bid. I went back on a violation, and they laid me down, and that's when I resurrendered my life to God. And I remember He birthed this thing. I don't know if I ever even told you this, but He birthed this vision in my heart that was called Next Generation of Worshipers. Have I ever told you about this?
How can this be news to
How
me?
is this news? Well, it was NGW.
Do you have a pow, 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 breaking news?
You know, but yeah, NGW, it was Next Generation of Worshipers, and it was really this.
That's hard, dude.
It really is, you know.
That's
and,
hard. That's almost harder than true music.
Like maybe we should just switch it all up just to
Bro,
NGW, you know.
bro, I
and
like that.
it was birthed out of Joel 2. Where God says, you know, that He's going to give young men vision and older men dreams and, you know, all of that stuff. And it's just Next Generation of Worshipers. And it was really this mindset. Prisons wasn't even in the play, but it was really, I thought this was what I was going to do full time. And it was basically, at the time, it's funny because I called it an iPod generation. And it's like,
that's gonna
nowadays,
show you age.
what is it? Right. What's an iPod?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Now we got iPhones, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And Apple Watches and stuff, you know? And so it's like, but we was using music to minister to an iPod generation for the Heart of Christ, you know? And I wanted to go around to urban centers and set up concerts and minister specifically to the youth. And then I wanted to have a team that built rapport with local community churches. So when we left, we could get people connected. Like, we just wanted to come in, let's fish, and then we'll give you the fish. You know, like, it wasn't nothing about us. We just wanted to build the body. And
Is God good? There's
I
some-
know, bro. And there's some different,
Yeah,
you know, there's
I
some
wouldn't
different
just be
angles to
throwing
it.
anybody to any church type deal.
Well, no,
but,
that's what we
yeah.
was a year ahead. There was
Right.
going to be a team that
Yeah.
was building rapport with those churches and like
Right.
trying to
Okay.
find the
Okay.
right churches to plug in. And it
Okay,
might have
yeah.
only been 2, but
Right.
you know, we weren't going to throw them to the wolves. You know? But you know, and so, but you know, and so when I got out, like on some real, I will never upload what I'm talking about to anybody's tablets because it was some trash that I recorded.
I think I
and-
heard a little sample
in
of
my
that.
in my homeboy's basement.
I think your brother showed me that.
Oh God!
Your brother tried to
I'm
show
gonna
me some.
rebuke him. I have to rebuke him.
I think he did.
You know, but my buddy recorded it on a keyboard workstation.
Straight up.
And dude, it was garbage.
Yeah.
But you know, I
But praising
recorded
God though. in it.
absolutely 100%, bro. And when I got out of prison, I didn't, dude. I lived on my little sister's couch, and I recorded 2 albums, down there. And
Dang, bro. Yeah, you had it fire though. If you was writing albums, like
all
you
the
had 30
time.
tracks.
Dude, I did the no features, bro. Like,
That's wild.
it
Yeah,
was straight.
three verses every time.
Yes,
2 hooks,
straight
3
up, bro.
verses
Straight
every
up.
time.
Yeah.
That is
And but anyways, that's where kind of the heart of the music ministry started. And honestly, I always just thought like I was gonna do it to get it started, and then I was gonna fall back. I wanted to preach, like I was like, man, Lord, just bring some people to me that, and this was far before ministry. And then, then we got to a point where that kind of just fell off to the side a little bit. I would mess around, but then I got into Bible college and we started going after ministry. We launched Reach and, met a few people here and there just because of the demographic that we reach. And then, and then you got out of prison, and tell us how you kind of got connected.
I mean, the thing was that I remember walking into church my first day. I think it was my first day, and y'all did a song, right? Y'all did a song that day.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, "Oh, you're gonna love this," right? And so I get done doing the sermon. I already knew I was in a different place, some place I've never been before, but got done with that and did a song. And I was like, "Dang." And I knew
What kind of church is this?
well, I knew that it was tough. I knew it was tough. But here's the thing about me, though, is that I have a gift. I knew it came from God, and I was going to squander it for my obedience, literally. Because I literally was like, it's not in me. It's not. I don't have vision. I didn't have vision for it.
Yeah, but what a sacrifice, though. Honestly,
I didn't have a vision for it. I was
real.
willing to just give up music and pursue whatever it was. I didn't have a vision for music. I knew I was talented. I knew that because nobody ever told me, "Hey, bro, that was trash" back in the day. But I knew that it brought something out of me that I couldn't deal with. You know what I mean? And I didn't even know how to write because at one point when I was in prison, I turned on a beat and I was like trying to do it, and it just like you ever freestyled and you still go back into gangster mode on freestyle. You're like,
those on the 24s and
I would be like,
It's like,
man,
what the
with his song, he'll see a stick on him. And I'm like, oh, I didn't have a stick. I ain't touched a gun in 8 years. But it just
all
comes
of a sudden
out.
the F word just comes out. You're like, what happened?
Right, and that's that.
People try to get me to freestyle. I'm like, I don't
tapping
rap
back
for free.
in. I could never. I don't think I could.
I don't
I think
freestyle.
now that I've got
I would just
comfortable,
spit a verse.
3
that I know.
albums in, that
Yeah.
I got a little endurance. No pun intended. But anyways,
Shout out to Endurance album dropping in January. Watch
11th.
it coming on Securus. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't cop the other 2, go ahead and get on there. Cop Altar Call, cop Growing Pains. But this Endurance one though, that joint hot.
yeah.
But anyway,
But so I sat down and I told my wife, I said, man, that was cool. And she said, yeah, this is what she told me. She said, yeah, you need to go tell them that you rap. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I sat down and I served and just grinded it out.
Yeah.
And it was my wife whispering in my ear, saying, you got to give. And use it. Give God the glory to it. And I remember this very vividly. When I finally did come to y'all and I said, hey, let me just write something for you, And I
want to be a ghostwriter.
Well, I just wanted to show you that,
okay.
I said, here, let me try something out. And I got a beat.
I remember it was a small group, wasn't it?
It was a small group, yeah. It was going to somebody's house in a small group, and it was about baptism, And the first bars that I wrote a whole verse. I sat down. I was actually in school, HVAC school, and in between classes, I went to my vehicle and I just wrote the song down. Mm-hmm. And so when I presented to y'all, they're like, "Oh yeah, okay," and we moved forward from it. And then that's what took off ever since it. Is lots of tracks since then, because the fire was lit, and all of a sudden, I can, I realized that I can give the gift that God gave me, give glory to Him through it, But I needed to be there mentally and spiritually.
It's hard.
I needed to be there to be capable of doing it, because what I will say is that when you put yourself up out there, you're roaring. And that's what the Bible tells us, hey, be bold in your faith, right? And so He's not telling us to not to be quiet. He's actually telling us to sound the alarm because people are dying.
Yeah.
People are dying. There's real death going on. There's real people going to hell, and that is the bottom line of this thing. And it's if I can deliver you a message that points you to Christ, that can get your salvation right, to where, like it says in this verse, that it says, then Christ will make his home in your hearts as you trust in him. Your roots will grow down into God's love and keep you strong. And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep is his love. May you experience the love of Christ, though it is too great to understand fully. Then, contingency, then you will be made complete with all the fullness of life and power that comes from God. Because if you're not spiritually fit, you put yourself out there. It happens. Guys we're at the prison, and guys, they keep hitting me. But guys going, and they come up to me, and they're like, "Hey, bro, I can rap. I can do." I'm like, "Great." That's what we said
That's
before.
good,
Great,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
But start roaring for the King.
Yeah.
Start roaring for the King, and know ready to get tested.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you one of my most prime examples of this. The No Smoke video, the first video we ever shot.
Mm-hmm.
Never shot a music video for the Lord.
Yeah.
Ever. I was sitting at home. My wife was having a miscarriage.
Yeah.
In that moment, she was having a miscarriage. I was in denial. She was in denial. Okay? It was our first baby. And I walked into this miscarriage completely 100% unbeknownst to miscarriage, period. Like, she took a pregnancy test. I was like, great, we're going to have a child. I didn't even factor in the fact that it could possibly not happen, right? And so as this is going on, I am losing it, okay? Because here's my wife is, and we shot that video at night. We shot it at like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, something like
It was late.
Yeah, it was.
Because we did something that day probably at a church event.
Well, I think it was.
We had a church
I think
event
it was
that
summer.
evening.
I think it was.
It was summertime.
Too,
It was
so
August.
We was waiting for it to get dark.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We're waiting for it to get dark.
But we did have a church event before.
So we came back from that, and my wife is in. She obviously, and there was all the signs, and I remember sitting on the toilet. I'm not on the toilet. I'm just in the bathroom. She's in the room, and I'm crying out to her, and I'm just saying. I just told her. I said, "Help me," right? Because I was battling so hard internally. I said the voice was so loud in my head. Said, "How could you go do a music video with your wife here hurting?" Right? She said, "You're a fraud. You're a fraud. You don't take care of your home. How can you talk about God?" Right? And as I'm saying this, I'm telling Beck, I'm like, help me, right? And then she comes to the bathroom, and she looks at me, and I say, I all I could utter out of my mouth is, "I don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy." And this woman, she looks at me dead in my face and says, "You're not." And I look at her and I say, and she says, "But God is.
Yeah.
So go give him the glory.
Right.
Regardless of what happened, I'm gonna be fine here." You know what I mean? And that was a battle that I was facing, and I had to walk through that. And when I'm in that video and No Smoke, I'm really talking to that punk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
he coming after me because I'm roaring in the kingdom. I'm beating my chest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm beating my chest. I'm pushing people to Jesus. Push. And I'm ready for the attack. The attack gonna come. And that's why so often what you see in this that is different than secular, because in secular you blow up overnight.
Yeah.
You can easily blow up overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that happened that fast can put a curse over your life.
On some trash.
You can blow up overnight.
Yeah.
And the world can give you all sorts of success that would symbolize that you are successful. This ministry, this music, it's a ministry first, but it's got music behind it that is testimonies over beats. That's all it's accompanied by. This ministry comes with spiritual warfare. And if you're not prepared first for the spiritual warfare, you will lose in the ministry. Facts, period.
Yeah.
So that's why we as a group, we look at the character and we look at the heart.
Yeah.
And we look and we say, okay, where can we disciple you? Where can we build this rapport with you so that we can keep the anointing on the
Yeah.
group?
Yeah.
Because that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and I really think, like you saying that, I think it speaks to the fact
I missed
it's
that
lost
window.
the window, didn't it?
Yep.
I think it speaks to the fact of
Shoot.
like honestly, like some people, like they come and they, we've been guilty of doing this. Like some people have wanted to jump in the studio with us, and we said, well, hey, go through Growth Track, you know, which is,
What is that?
28 weeks, you know, and it's our discipleship process at the church. And so, like, you know, we have 3 different classes, 101, 201, and 301. And it's 28 weeks that it takes to get through it, which is pretty intense, and it's decent. Like, it's like you're going to have to be committed. Like, you know, it's a decent process. And we've messed up by telling people that, and then they've done it, and we almost had to renege because the heart wasn't there yet. And so people are going through the process just to perform.
Yep.
And it's a heart issue. And it's like, really, you can't put a time window on a heart condition, you know? And it's like, hey, man, like, you know, you're not ready. You're not ready, you know? And a lot of people don't understand that because they think, well, no, dude, I'm good, you know? Like, I got bars, I'm ready. And I mean, really, a lot of people don't. But, like, even if they did have bars, like, I don't, like, bro, you're about to get smacked in the lip,
Straight up.
you know, by the enemy. And I'm not giving him power because the punk is powerless. I mean, he's been defeated.
Right.
But the truth is he is reigning in the air, and he's here. He's the you know, the prince of the air. And if you're not prepared, he can defeat you. And what would we look like, you know, releasing somebody that is not, I mean, imagine if you was going to fight. Like, imagine 2 boxers. We would say Tyson and Jake Paul, but we both know that was trash.
Wow.
You know, but like,
I wonder if they got to see that.
Probably not.
Probably just
That
caught
was on
YouTube.
Netflix.
Yeah, probably just caught ESPN clip.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, you missed nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about it.
It was trash. But the thing is like, you know, like, imagine if, you know, Jake Paul, 8 months building up to this, never once worked out, never once went to the gym, never once participated in any kind of training at all whatsoever, and then just jumped off in the ring. You know, like, that's what it's like when these dudes are not working out their spiritual life and then want to jump into a ministry opportunity.
Right.
And I've had to have conversations with people and say, hey, look, if I wouldn't let you speak at this church, I won't let you behind the microphone on the music either.
Straight up.
You know, it's that serious,
It is
bro.
that serious. And it's not perfection that you're looking for,
Nah,
but
nah. Growth.
you're looking for a submissive heart. One that's willing to submit.
Missed the window for sure.
Submissive. That's a big deal. Not willing to take offense.
Yeah.
Willing to submit to
Be corrected.
to be correctable. One of the core values that we instill here at church is we always remain teachable.
Yeah.
I'm a student. You're a student.
Yeah.
I will forever remain a student rest of my life. I'm in college now. You're in college now. But I'm probably never going to stop being in college or being mentored from somebody because I refuse to not
Grow.
be
And just
underneath
be
somebody.
teachable. Yeah.
And so if you come into a music area scene and it's like, hey, yeah, boom, I'm ready to barge it in, and you can't tell me nothing that happens between me and my God.
Yeah.
Well,
Or my daddy in heaven. Like,
right.
we are not the same, bro.
Then-
we built different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's obviously a problem there because what we want to do is we want to lead people to Christ. And so what happens so often is, and this is a big point, and it happens in there, you in your Bible, and you're sitting down at that table, and people are seeing you in your word, and they're like, man, look, dude's over there, he's on the Bible tip, yeah, boy, on the, and then you're beating somebody up in a cell, or pressing them off their bunk.
right.
It's not leading them to Christ.
Yeah.
So if you're on stage glorifying God to me, but cheating on your wife, or I don't know, just using that as an example,
Smoking cigarettes, even, bro.
No,
I mean, vaping. you know, I
in
mean,
disobedience to what God's called you to
Yeah,
do.
at any rate.
If you're struggling and you've tried to quit
abstaining from
100
even
times,
the appearance of evil.
right?
You know.
You've tried 100 times to quit, but you just can't get it right. Obviously, God's put a desire on your heart, and you're just fumbling through it. Something like this. Why is somebody going to look at this from an outside appearance and be like, "Oh yeah, it's something I want to pursue"?
Yeah.
I want the fruit, because here's the thing. Who is this, that preacher? He's on Yapando. He's cold. He's hard. But he said, "How you act is your fruit."
Hey, straight up.
Period. That's what it is.
That's
How
real
you
life.
act is your fruit. So I don't want my fruit to resemble bad fruit. You know what makes sense?
No, not at all. Because I mean, that's just what it is. I'm trying to get to.
What are you
this
looking for?
right here?
Oh man, you're getting in that Timothy boy.
You got to get there, man. You know, because he says a church leader. This is a trustworthy saying. If someone aspires to be a church leader, so if somebody aspires to be a leader or in ministry at any rate, so I mean that's music, that's anything. He desires an honorable position. Why? Because you get the opportunity to minister to people. And he says, so a church leader must be a man whose life is above reproach. Like that means like, dude, like you can't, like, again, you said it, it's not perfection, but like when you mess up, when you foul up, when you sin, whenever you do this, like how do you respond to that? Do you just keep pressing? It's like, it's cool. You know, God's grace.
I am who I am.
I am. At least I ain't
That's
smoking
me.
meth. Yeah, at least I ain't smoking meth.
That's
like,
me.
I just grew up in the street. Like this is just who I am. Yeah, but that's not, you know, this is I was born this way, and you know, people use that. Well, I was just born this way. Well, that's why he said be born again. You know, but he says, so a church leader must be a man whose life is above reproach. He must be faithful to his wife. He must exercise self-control. Like that right there, bro, is like, bro, if you can't exercise self-control, like what does that mean? It means that like
That's a fruit of the spirit.
it's a fruit of the spirit. It is. And so like if you can't have self-control, which would be that, like if you have attempted to quit smoking 16 times and you haven't done it yet, where's your self-control? Why where's your, you have to have
But
self-control.
the point of it is, you could struggle with that stuff. That's fine. But you can't have precedence. Your music ministry can't take precedence over your self-disciplines.
No, you've got
your
to get
obedience
that
to
stuff.
God.
You need to step back
Step back and then focus on that.
and get that right.
And I would love to
then
help
come
you
back to
through
it.
that, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can still be
for
around.
that.
You can still pull up. We're still rocking together. We're still going out to eat.
100.
We're still discipling. We're still kicking it with you.
100.
But you're not on this next album.
Yeah, no.
Until you get what you need to get right in the season, because that needs to be your priority. Then, as a brother, when I see you get that breakthrough, I'm like, bro, absolutely, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
You with it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would expect the same from you if you seen any sort of half step in or backsliding.
Yeah.
There'd be an approach and say, hey, bro, listen, let's get our priorities straight.
Yeah.
It's not you have to abide by this or you kicked out, gone for good. It's abide by this because this is the standard. It's God's standard. It's not one that we want to do to appease somebody else or lower it down so that we can gain more views. It's, here's God's standard. This is what we're going to uphold. If you don't meet that, then you won't be able to do these things. Once you're not able to do these things, I want to love you and disciple you through it, but you have to take correction. And if you can't take correction, then you're just going to be mad at me all the time. And then once you get mad at me all the time, you're just going to probably leave me. And that's basically what it boils down to.
It really is. And I mean, it goes back to, let me see here. Ezekiel 33. It says, when I bring an army against a country, the people of the land chose one of their own to be a watchman. This Ezekiel is a prophet, and so he's speaking a prophetic word right now. And he says, when the watchman sees the enemy coming, he sounds the alarm to warn the people. Then if those who hear the alarm refuse to take action, it's their own fault if they die. They heard the alarm but ignored it. So the responsibility is theirs. If they had listened to the warning, they could have saved their lives. But if the watchman sees the enemy coming and doesn't sound the alarm to warn the people, he is responsible for their captivity.
Ooh. Yeah.
So what kind of brother am I if I am the watchman
Right.
and I see you and I don't sound the alarm? Bro, it's on my hands.
No, it's on your hands so much because you want to look at this where you flip right back to on Paul's.
Keep my place there because we come in. I hope you're not using that.
I'm not using that.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm reading in Ephesians, but I'm not on that because this is what it's saying in equipped. right? And it's talking about unifying the body. And it says one of my favorite things about our church is the way people do the work of the ministry by loving, caring, and reaching out to others. You may be thinking, isn't ministry the pastor's job? Right? However, Ephesians 4:12 says this: a pastor's job is to equip
the saints. That's right.
It's to equip God's people to do his work and build up the church. In other words, a pastor's purpose is to equip you for the work of ministry.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's true. That's true.
And so how do you become equipped? You become available. You be
Yeah.
a servant. You be a minister
Yeah.
in these ways. And so if we're not correcting things as we go by, no one is being equipped. It becomes a tyranny.
Well, and I
Following a ruler.
Yeah.
You hand down a law.
Dictatorship, yeah.
And you want to, and then they follow that when that's.
well, and I think dang, you said it a second ago. I was going to say something, but dang, I don't know. It slipped my mind. Anyways, but I mean, I think is what happens is when you're not teachable, when somebody tries to equip the saints. So part of equipping would be correcting, and shaping. Like, look at the disciples. Look at how many times Jesus had to get onto them, dude.
Man.
Like, dude, we would have been in the 21st century. We would have been offended. I mean,
Oh,
we would
my
have straight.
God. We're trying to sue him.
bro. We would have tried to sue him, beat him up.
Been sued him, tried to get him banned,
Straight up.
outcasted on, dude. He would have been
But
roasted.
the thing that I think about, I said this Sunday, is an advancing church is not because of a believing pastor. An advancing church is because of a believing people.
Right.
And it's people getting back. But one of the other things I wanted to note in this is it says that he must exercise self-control, live wisely, and have a good reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's people saying about you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like when
Well,
you're
true people saying about you. What's the true reputation of you?
yeah, I'm
You
not
know?
talking about the
hating.
slithering tongues of a
Yeah,
serpent.
no,
That's
we're
not what I'm
talking
talking
about,
about. I'm talking about like what is your true reputation say about you? Like what is like what is it? He must enjoy having guests in his home, and he must be able to teach. He must not be a heavy drinker or be violent. He must be gentle, not quarrelsome, and not love money. He must manage his own family well, having children who respect and obey him. For if a man cannot manage his own household, how can he take care of God's church? A church leader must not be a new believer, because he might become proud and the devil would cause him to fall. And also, people outside of the church must speak well of him so that he will not be disgraced and fall into the devil's trap. And it's just like, bro, there is so much stuff.
And dude, there's so many levels of ministry though. You know what I mean? Like if you're in there and you're watching and you aspire to be a pastor, you aspire to be performing for
For lack of better terms.
for a lack of better terms, I don't even like using the word performing, but doing music in front of people,
Yeah.
bringing people to God. There's nothing wrong with having that desire.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And we encourage it, but there is a process that God's going to put you through it. And there's a potential that it may not be what He has called you absolutely to do. Maybe that it may be. I know somebody that their ministry is they keep little books on them. And when they talked about people to God, they hand them those little books.
Yep.
That's their ministry.
Yep.
That's what God called them in. Hey, you have to be able to let that be what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it started with serving somebody a coffee in a church. I didn't even know what ministry it was.
Yeah.
But I served somebody some coffee. I said, hey, make the day great. Have a
Yeah.
day. And that's how service started, was just being a servant. And then the Bible says that then God will change the desires of your heart.
Yeah.
So what you're desiring now in your spiritual walk may not be what you desire. I mean, it is for you in a sense,
Well, yeah, but I
But-
mean, even
but you see where it's evolved. It's
well, 'cause,
evolving.
I mean, honestly, even then, it was like I had visions of next generation of worshipers, but when I got out of prison,
But let's talk about the vision you got now.
yeah,
The visions you got now
it's evolved a little bit.
are awesome and amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is when I pray for provision for Reach, because that's one thing that I pray for the church and I pray for Truth Music, because the goal that Truth Music, The goal for Truth Music is it would be able to generate enough funds to provide for a dream center.
Yeah.
Okay? If the whole
What's the Dream Center?
and the Dream Center is specifically a discipleship program for men that are leaving incarceration, okay, coming home, because the Dream Center motto is what is also what we stand behind and we believe is that if you can disciple the man, you can save the family.
Yep.
So you get the man discipled and the man to walk with God, then it can restore an entire family.
Yeah.
And so our heart is in discipleship with men incarcerated, that they could come home to a place that is 100% paid and free for them, not having to work,
Yeah.
no job.
Yeah.
You're building foundation of Jesus. You're doing some work.
Yeah. But
You're
that's
working.
What needs to happen.
You're not going to go get a job, right? And so here we got a Dream Center, and it's housing. Start off with 10 men, build it up to Los Angeles.
400,000
square foot hospital. You know what I mean? And boom, it's just discipling men, and the percentage, what statistics will show, is very low.
Yeah.
You know, however, that small percentage, that's where you fix your focus in, because those lives were saved, those families were restored. And so the point of it, when I think about Truth Music and when I pray for the provision of it, because the Bible says this, it says, work hard
Your salvation.
to show your salvation, and also that I heard a pretty interesting, actually, in college, what's his name? Justice was talking about, they were talking about Jesus' robe and his full-length robe, and that he hung around women that had money. And he probably got this robe gifted, right? And so God provided, and he was gifted with a robe. And back in the day, they didn't tear robes that were full length because of the value of them. And so they would equivalent to some decent amount of money in our day, And it kind of goes to show Jesus is thought of money is that he wasn't opposed to completely just being, he wasn't in full rags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, he wasn't, full of the money, but the thing is like God is going to move and provide for it. So when I think about provision for Truth Music, I think it's like, hey, you buy a album, you go towards that cause.
Yep.
You spent $17 of grandma's money. Well, $17 of grandma's money, man, went towards the Dream Center,
Building the Dream Center.
towards a life.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? Because the goal is to hopefully one day it generates so much that it can just be funded the whole time.
Yeah.
So we give a gift to God, and we go on tour 2 weeks out of the year. 'Cause that's about as much as I could afford with leaving my family.
Straight up.
That's all our wives would put up with. Some of these dudes be out there for a while.
Yeah, they do. I don't know how.
But
I
God bless
couldn't do it.
their families and their
I'd
wives.
be looking like, how could I get my wife to go with me?
Right, and then they become school teachers.
Yes, whatever.
And they just we just homeschool.
Like, we'd be like Amish or something.
yeah, just on a tour bus. Yeah,
We'd be like the Amish Truth Music
but
group.
Boom, funds going back to Dream Center. Boom, lives bed, because our good friend down there in Troy, shout out Troy, Dream Center in Meal, $3,000 can
cover a
fund a
man.
bed for 6 or 9 months.
It's 9 months now.
9
but it
months.
was 6
$3,000
months
will fund a bed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how much we made off True Music. $2,700, $2,600.
Roughly, yeah.
So we're in the hole right now about.
One bed.
Oh, dude, we got almost a bed.
well, we haven't started.
But we're in the hole though.
So, yeah.
But we're in the hole though
Yeah.
because we probably spent
Oh yeah, we spent probably $15,000 on it.
on
12
albums.
Yeah, 12 on an album.
You know what I mean? And so none of this stuff. And so we still over here like,
It's fun,
Lord,
though.
Lord, but would do it no matter what.
We need that ram in the thicket. You know?
Straight up. But that's the goal. That's the dream. So having vision and having something to work towards is definitely essential.
You know, and I think honestly, talking about the Dream Center, and I don't know how much time we got left, but
what are we getting close to?
okay, and talking about the Dream Center, it just makes me think, that when I got out, you know, God gave me a vision when I was in prison too about a housing program, and this one just made sense. The Dream Center did, but it just aligned with it. But when I got out, dude, I lived with my little sister on my little sister's couch. I didn't get a job for like 8 months, and I just, dude, I studied, I wrote music. I was not seeking a position. I went to church. I served. I mean, whatever you need me to do, Pastor. I cleaned the toilets. I mean, I ran sound. I mean, whatever I could do, literally, to just serve the church. Like I was the guy that was like, hey, I'm here every week, Pastor. I've been out of prison for 14 years, and
January.
December 31st, I got arrested. And so here in like 2.5 weeks, I'll be out 14 years. And I've not missed a single day of church, you know, and I have conversations with people that are like, well, I got to go, you know, I got to go visit this person and do this and this and that. And I'm like, okay. You know, when you start making other things more important than God, it goes all the way back to the first commandments of not putting anything before me. And your attendance at church is not your relationship with God. I get that, but it's a measure of it, you know. And I think that, you know, when we can make our attendance with God the priority, dude, your life changes. And I think that's the key thing about the Dream Center that is going to change lives, is allowing men to get out and reintegrate themselves into society while developing a healthy relationship with God. And then when you've walked through that process, then you're ready to encounter society, because you've been in prison 10, 15 years, 5 years, 2 years, whatever. Like, I don't care if you've been in 6 months. It's different when you get out, you know?
And like, if you could commit that number of time, you did it unwillingly. They sentenced you. Boom, they hit you with a gavel. But no matter, you committed to it. You made it through it. You didn't take the other way out. So you did commit to that time. Why not commit to another year of discipleship?
Yeah, and I think about it like this, like Paul said, imitate me as I imitate Christ. And, you know, like I think of, like, you know, hey, if you're getting out of prison and you want to do different, get around some brothers that have been there and then listen to what they did. And, like, I get it, like, some guys, maybe you've been serving the Lord longer than me because you've been down 20 or 25 years, whatever. I get it. But we've been out here doing this. And so regardless of even how long somebody's been walking their faith out, like, it's different in there than it is out here.
It does get different.
And so, like, you just need to be submissive and just walk this thing out. Don't be a know-it-all. Remain teachable. Get in, get connected to the local church. Pastor, I'm here. Know whatever it is, and just throw yourself into the church. And when the doors are open, be there, man.
Straight up.
And it really changes everything. You know, it really does.
We encourage your prayers. You know, that's why the reason why we're sharing our heart on everything is because it's like, hey, we need you praying for us. We need the power in that prayer to come together. And when you think about a video you just watched, man, think about your relationship with Jesus, and then think about what's next for us, so that we can, you know, really come together and unite in this thing. Because, you know, the foundation built in that time frame, without that, getting that job and working hard, it is so essential to timing. I'll tell you, I got out, and it took me almost 3 years to file to try to go get custody with my kids. I didn't just rightfully go get it back, because I wanted to make sure that when I filed, they were going to have their daddy around forever, again, until I died. Their daddy would be in their life. I wasn't going to get in and out again, not one more time. And so I had to make sure that I was right with God. And my foundation was good in there, but I had to learn how to do it out here too. And so I didn't work either. You know, thankfully I was in a halfway house, and I went and farted around, is what I called it, at my mom's tea shop. I was just hanging out with old tea ladies. My mom owns a tea shop, and I was just farting around with them. They're all 60-year-olds, and we're all drinking
but
tea.
I think those things are integral, dude, to the growth of where we're at today, of not just jumping full
Didn't need
fledged
it.
back in. No, dude.
Didn't need the money or what? For
what?
what, dude? I wasn't pursuing the cash. I didn't really. That didn't matter to me. I wanted to understand how to live, how to live out here. Because one thing that will happen is your discipline could be so regimented in your time frame in prison. It's not going to be the same when you get out here. Your hour in your study, your hour in your prayer, your hour in your worship, like this regiment that you have, because the lack of things to do in there will be different. And you have to learn to have some grace for yourself and learn to adapt and still seek the same intimacy level with not as much the duration, because literally life will demand something else.
Oh yeah, and when you get out, like you're inundated with anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you just got out, and it's like, oh my gosh, all these things is happening, and it's like, oh no, my PO wants this, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and and then the next thing you know, like, dude, you've completely negated even stopping and resting in his presence.
Yeah.
You know, and
The
be
intimacy
still,
just has to
you
stay
know?
there.
And so, you know, as we're doing this, whenever we get the Dream Center going, like, we would love for men to come from all over the country and join the Dream Center and walk with us, and we disciple you and really help you become a man of God that is walking this thing out. And so we will let you know when that comes. We'll have some
Stay
housing
updated.
opportunities. We'll keep you updated. But in the meantime, check out that video. January 11th, when the album drops, go ahead and cop that. And just watch what God does through that deal. There's going to be some hot tracks on that demo. We got another video coming soon for you. So we'll have that to you soon. My wife is on that one. It's hot. We're excited about that. But
Pray us out.
Pray us out real quick.
All right. Father God, we just thank you so much for this day. We thank you for this gathering. We thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to come together and to just give you the glory, God, to uplift you and to share and disciple to one another. I pray that anyone that's watching this, God, that as they follow what's going on their tablet, God, they're looking at this, Lord, that their heart just be conditioned in a way that will just build intimacy and build relationship with you, because it is only through you. You're the gateway. There is nothing else in this but you, God. And we just thank you for what you are doing. We just thank you for all the blessings that you have given us. God, I pray for protection over their families. I pray protection over our families. And I just thank you, Lord. I praise you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Till next time, which should be next week. Catch us.
To submission just to honor you. I pour myself out like an offering. We don't need no dues or any life controlling substance. All we need is you. He said, be filled with power, speaking tongues and show the fruit.